Coleen, you were in the front pages of the paper at the weekend and talking about your marriage, and it's something I feel really awkward even bringing it up to you because it's such a personal thing, but I know you felt the need to talk about it, and it's what you do. It makes you try and fix the problem in many ways. And I mean, I know it was in the Mirror just yesterday. I mean, how are you today? What are you making of it? I mean, why did you feel the need to have to actually open up publicly about it?
I think I felt, I feel the need because it's something that's happening in my life, and I think it's something that happens, I'm an agony aunt, and I get a lot of letters about the same thing that I'm going through. And I think it was a need for me to be open and honest and not try and hide the fact that I'm, going through a bit of a crisis myself. And also, I've been on here nearly 17 years, and I do wear my heart on my sleeve. I can't help it. There are times I would like to shut myself up, and I can't. And we've done topics over the last few weeks that have been relationship-based, and I have sat here and thought, because none of you knew, it was very private, and I didn't tell anyone, and it was killing me sitting here thinking, oh, I don't know how to join in without almost lying and going, oh no, everything's fine, and it's not, And I think when my sister Maureen was on a couple of weeks ago talking about her marriage breakdown, speaking to Maureen before she came on the show, when she was telling me all the problems they were having, it kind of sets off alarm bells where you think, oh, this could be me talking.
Like doing a mental tick list.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that sounds like us, And I think, at this time of year, everything becomes more heightened because everything is geared around being happy and families. And what I can say is that there's absolutely no kind of rowing going on or fallouts. He's been really busy this year, and so have I. And we've hit that point where all of a sudden you think, OK, we've lost a connection here.
Yeah, so for those who didn't see the article, that's kind of the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah,
you kind of
all of a sudden you sit there and, like, when the kids were at home, everything's happy and we're chatting and chatting. Yeah. My kids are grown up now, they go off and do their own things, including Kira, she's 15, she goes and spends the night with her friend. And it was in those moments where it started to hit me, where I thought, I don't feel like we're talking, like we've got really anything to say, because he was having his life and I was having mine. And I am very, like I said, I'm very emotional, and I believe strongly in communication. And I've realised through all of this that he finds that really, really, really difficult to open up to his emotions. I don't know whether that's generally a man thing in general.
When you are asking really honest questions to one another, you also have to be prepared to sometimes hear a very honest answer, which some of us don't want to hear. And I know you've had experiences like that with Ray recently. I find that particularly difficult as well, isn't it? You recently were talking about how much you loved each other and whether you fancied each other and what the future holds. And you kind of, what the answer you want to hear, and if they don't give it to you, it can be really heartbreaking. How was he during that exchange with you?
Well, some of my advice that I give to the readers that write into me is, they say, I want to ask him this and I want to ask him that, or her. And I always say, that's fine, but if you want the honest answer, be prepared for it. Because I think, like you're saying, we all have the answer we want to hear. I remember a while ago saying to Ray, I don't think you fancy me anymore. And he said, well, I think it's, men are very visual. So I kind of...
What does that mean?
Well, I think he was saying probably to look at. No, I don't.
What?
But before you all jump on it for that,
I'm sorry.
We were having a really, really, really honest discussion. I told him things that he didn't like.
But then don't
if you're going to ask the question, you have to accept. Did I run to the, chemist and buy slimming pills, or did I go on an instant crash diet? No, because, as I said to him, well, I want you to look like George Clooney, but that ain't going to happen.
But then is the answer like to find somebody who fancies the pants off of you?
No, because it's not just about fancying, it's about the whole picture.
And that lasts forever either, does it? That's all part
and it's about the whole picture.
But men...
And I think, after that, and we discussed it, he does fancy me. But I was saying, if there's things you can change. Well, I know he prefers me slimmer. I know he does. Now, is it up to me to go, well, if I want to keep him, I have to be slimmer? No, because I think it's a bigger picture than that. Because ultimately, he loves the person I am.
Yeah.
The best question I asked him was, do you still love me? And he instantly said yes. And I said, do you want us to split up? And he said, no. So that's what we're working on.
That's the foundation.
I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to work, but we're going to try.
What do you want this time next year when we're sitting here?
I just want us both to be really happy, whichever road that takes us. I want him to be happy at what needs to be happy. And we are going to have a lovely Christmas. You know, we're going to have a lovely family Christmas. I've got my gorgeous mother-in-law coming round, and
good for you, Coleen. Thank you very much. Thank you. I know it's not easy saying all that. She's brilliant, isn't she? Yeah. She is the best. Right, we're going to let you have a breather.
yeah, you can shorten that.
If you've enjoyed that, then why not click here for more? And don't forget to subscribe by clicking here so that you never miss out on the best Loose Women moments.